Hi everyone, welcome to today's class. Today we're going to continue the business marketing unit 5, okay? The topic is direct selling. So this direct selling which refers the selling process directly to the customers in order to retail environment. So instead sales occurs at home, work online for others, non-score locations. Though this types of often eliminates several of middlemen which is involved in a product distribution. So such as a regional distribution center, wholesaler. So instead of a products go for a manufacturer and for the direct sales company to the distributor or a representative than the consumers. The products sold through direct sales are usually not found in typical retail locations, so which means finding a distribution representative is the only method to buy the products and services. By direct selling, it is usually associated with the party plan network marketing companies. Although these companies use direct sales, they are not the only ones. Many business that sells business to business, B2B, okay? So use direct selling to the target and sell to their end customers. For example, this many companies that sell advertising, okay? This office supplies will send a representative directly to the stores that can use their services. So please don't confuse direct selling with the direct marketing, because the direct selling is when individual salesperson reach out the consumer daily directly, whereas direct marketing is companies market directly to the consumers. And the next one is types of direct selling. There are many variety of ways of business owners, the ways they can sell directly to the consumers through the direct sellings. Okay, the first one is single level direct sales. So this type of sales is done one by one, such as through door to door in person presentations. So sales can be done in online through catalogs as well. Generally income is earned or a sales commission with possible bonuses. And then second one, host or party plan sales. So which means this types of sales is done in a group setting, usually involving the distributor or representative during the presentation in their home or another person in home. So in some cases a company might sell to individuals in a business. For example, the real estate software sales might do group sales presentation to a group of retailers. And the next one is multi-level marketing. So this sales in multi-level marketing are made in a variety of way, which is including a singular party presentation, but also through the online stores and catalogs, which is income earned through MLM in commission on sales. So the sales made by other business partners, the distributor recruits into the company. So sometimes this direct sales is called MLM network marketing. So however, these terms are not interchangeable. Okay. So while this MLM network marketing are a form of direct sales, not all direct sales systems involve this MLM. And the next one is the advantages of direct sales. So the advantages follows the advantages of market leader. Okay. So this is a employing direct sales force involving setting up a network of distribution to sell your products for you. So this can be very beneficial sales model that helps you increase your sales as well as lower your cost overall. So many products are sold with this type of arrangement, more direct sales business or setting are starting every day. And then second one, increase sales. So one of the best benefit of using a direct sales force is that you can increase your sales substantially. So many companies that have switched over the direct sales method have found that their sales have increased significantly. So this happens because their products are getting out, a large network of people, distributors are sharing the products and more sales are being made. Next one is lower cost. So this is another benefit of using a direct sales force is that you can lower your business cost. So with the type of a business models, you do not have to spend any money on advertising. If you ever try to utilize advertising before, you know how much money you could potentially waste if the advertising doesn't work. So with this model, so you can only have to pay distributor for the sales. So you can lower your overall cost and increase your sales at the same time. Then the next one is guaranteed sales. So with this type a business model, you also get to benefit from the guaranteed sales. So you do not have to pay time to anyone until you have sale generated. So this distributor goes out and sells the products or services. Then you pay the distributor for the commission that he has earned. So with this model, you can control cost much more effectively, and you know that you can bring in a profit because you already have to have the sales before you have to pay out anything. And the next one is word by mouth. word of mouth. Okay, so most business owners realize that the most powerful form of marketing is word of mouth, because a happy customer is one of your best sales agents. So they will tell of all their friends about your product services. With direct sales, you are relying on a sales force to tell their friends and family about your products. So if the person believes in your products, he will be able to convey his belief to his close contacts. Word of mouth doesn't cost anything, and it is much more effective than any other type of marketing available. And the next one is initial investments. So with the business model, you do not have to make a large initial investments. So you simply have to come up with a compensation plan for your distribution and recruit a few initial distributor to get started. Then the distributor that you recruit will take care of the rest. And the next one is the benefits of direct sales force. So benefits in a competitive advantage sales force strategies. Okay, the falls which follows by virtue of their being salaried employee of the medtech company. So for which they sell, salesperson representative offers certain advantages of the company's execution. So will not necessarily receive from their sales approaches. These include the following. The first one is a direct representative, which is 100% of the selling effort. Okay, then since they are employees, they will maintain a control over the direct sales. And next one is a product knowledge. They have the maximized when representative concentrate a single line and clearly representing his company rather than themselves. They will represent the company rather than themselves. So it is a direct representative which have high credibility among the customers. And the next one, direct representative are easily to manage. So some direct representative will develop into a company managers. So which is easier. Okay, so which is easier to fit a direct sales force into a corporate culture than to achieve such harmony with independence representatives. And the next one is, as employee operating within the structure corporate context, this direct representative are able to tolerate a weak support organization, and this goodwill earned by direct representative accrues entirely to the company they represent. So by this, the sales function task peripheral to actual selling are readily executed when they fall within a direct representative jobs descriptions. Okay, the next as follows: a sales force strategies for a competitive advantages. Okay, how the sales force strategy will be. So next one is a we already seen sales force strategies for a competitive advantage, means the benefits of direct sales force, right? So the next one is the difference between a manufacturer representative or a distributor. So based on this, the manufacturer representative and a distributor uh, are similar in similar ways. So, but both sell goods made by the manufacturer, neither it directly employed by those manufacturer. Instead, they operate independently. So the key difference is that distributor actually buy and sell goods, while representative act as a sales agent for the manufacturer. So how distributor work? So this typical distributor buys goods from the manufacturer at a wholesale price and then resells the goods to consumer to the retail outlets. So this distributor actually take ownership of the product they sell, because they already bought that. So they maintain an inventory. So this distributor are responsible for getting products into the stores. When stores need more products, they order it from the distributors rather than the manufacturers. So the distributor make it profit for from the makeup. So the difference between what it pays the manufacturer for goods, what it charges its own customers. And the next one is how distributors works. You already seen how representative works. So a manufacturer representative is a salesperson or marketing agent. So the representative contacts potential buyers which promote manufactured products and arrange the sales. So this representative do not take ownership of the product they sell. So they do not keep an inventory beyond perhaps some samples. So their job is to line up customers for the manufactured products. They typically an independent contractor rather than employees of a manufacturer, and they usually paid on commissions, which is earning a percentage of all sales they make. Then how manufacturers benefits. Okay, this production, sales, distribution, which require different kind of expertise, it's often more efficient for manufacturer to turn those functions over in independent distributors. So this can try to build and maintain their own expensive marketing channels, which allows a manufacturer to concentrate on what it does best. Then the manufacturer representative, also known as the independent sales representative. Okay, so an international manufacturer representative may be responsible for, in addition to the sales solicitation, so which is handling inventory, dealing with the tariffs, compelling with the government regulations, and manufacturers representative may be especially helpful for small business startup companies, and also for exporters who are willing to test new products or a new entry enter new markets, which is hiring manufacturer representative, which may be easier alternatives to full-time sales representative, as no employees overhead needs to be given, such as insurance and the taxes. And the uses in direct sellings. Okay, the uses follows when introducing a new product into the market. So when there is a new market the company wants to enter, and when it is more cost effective. So when a retail buyers require dedicated sales and marketing support from a manufacturer. Then manufacturer hire representative that live in a geographic location of a territory that they sell to. Then the manufacturer representative generally represent more than one manufacturer. One of the reasons that can represent one more than one manufacturer is the product or related complementary. And the next one, the manufacturing represent know the market well because they attend the conferences, conventions, trade shows in order to maintain a knowledge of new products. And companies seeking manufacturer representative often use the directories of manufacturer representative association. Though connections are more often made in person at major trade shows. And the next one is responsibilities of a manufacturer representative versus the distributors. Okay, so by this, both the distributor and representative may work for the same manufacturers, but the manufacturer representative is responsible for generating sales and working to identify the new customers, because attending trade shows to become familiar with the competing manufacturer and potential customers, and negotiating pricing options with the customers, and demonstrating attributes with the manufacturing products, and keeping records of contacts and sales informations, and training clients on the proper use of the products. And the next one, finally, communicating with the distributors for the delivery of our products. Okay, then what is distributor and job responsibilities? Okay, so the job of a distributor is to manage a flow of material, okay, from the manufacturer to the customers. So to be successful in this career, you must have diverse set of skills from managing workers to scheduling the arrival and departure of a material. In addition, which is safety is a major concern. So the distributor must be very familiar with the optimal condition for storing, transportation of a products, which including temperature tolerance, viable timeline, and handling regulations. So a distributor must be able to analyze these factors in addition to the location of the warehouse and relation to the customers to ensure the product arrives in good conditions. And job responsible of distributors. The first one is inspecting the storage conditions of materials. Okay, so where they have to storage means warehouse. Okay, then documenting transportation cost of a sales departments, then using software to track inventory on transit, so whether it has reduced or increased, reduced or the same, whether how many are sold, like that. Okay, then developing emergency procedure for handling of dangerous materials. Then next one is sales coverage. Okay, so sales coverage means, one sec, I'll tell what sales coverage. So this is a ratio of total number of prospects in a salesperson territory, and the number of prospects that he or she can effectively approach. So this is a ratio of total aspects prospects in the area of number of prospects who can be effectively targeted or approached. Okay, So this sales coverage covers structure of sales team, distribution channel, size of the sales force. Okay, and the next heading is customer relationship. So what is customer relationship? So the development of an ongoing connection between a company and its customers. Okay, this relationship involves marketing communications, sales support, technical assistance, and customer service. So the relationship is measured by the degree of customer satisfaction through the buying cycle and following receipt of goods and services. Okay, and the next one is steps to sustaining customer relationships. What are the steps to sustain? The first one is there is nothing wrong with over servicing customers. So because always take their calls, always answer their emails in a timely fashion, which always take a we can get it done. So attitude with everything you do. Okay. The next one is be careful of who's paying the bill. So because the customers have ideas and many items, many times they are having very good ideas. But even if it is not such a hot idea, you still need to address it along with their suggestions. Next one is don't make promises you can't keep, because the best way to lose credibility is to blow a deadline or submit an invoice that is above the approved estimate. So promise what you can deliver, not what you think you can deliver. And the next one is know where you are going. So this is the most projects need some kind of roadmap to keep everyone on a track to reach the end goal. So this project briefs, content outlines, and trade show graphics plans are good ways to do this. So even better a full multi-year plan. And the next one, never say no. So there is always a way to get something done. It may not be the perfect way, the cheapest way, but I have yet to find something that absolutely positively couldn't be done some way somehow. And remember, if you don't do it, somebody else will. Okay, the next one is the most important thing in marketing is to retain your most profitable business customers. Okay, so because the nurturing customer relationship should be the only goal to build a brand which is satisfied. The customers are more prone to remain loyal and return as repeat clients. So by this, the customer loyalty program promotion surveys can be modified to both your budget and marketing goals. So because the most important thing in a sales and marketing is to attract and retain your most profitable business customers. So by this feat you must devise and implement a customer strategy that builds, foster, nurture, and extend relationship with your customers. So a company profits only when the earnings from retained customers, which exceeds the cost to acquire to service customers over the time. Next we move on customer relationship managements. Okay. So what it means? Because it means creating, managing the balance which can major challenges to your management. So because this management application act a solution to this challenge, this CRM process of tracking, CRM means customer relationship management. Okay. So this is tracking, managing all aspects of a company interaction with its customers, which including prospecting, sales and services. So here few customers touch points that can also use to strengthen your relationship and keep your customers informed and engaged. Okay. So based on this, the points that you can be strengthen your relationship. The email messages, newsletters, surveys, because they provide product service updates, promotes goods and services, and communicate news and events. Let the customer know what's happening at your brand and why they should know about it. And the next one is a feedback. So by feedback, ask for capture and act on your customers input, so which the customer surveys are a very important part of improving relationship with the clients. Though this creates service with an incentives to gather feedback on what your brand is doing right and wrong. And the next one is insight. So insight means research your customers market strengths and goals. So this big data analyze tool should be a part of sales team planning. So the market trends shift often and you need to know what strategies to increase shares or enter new markets. And the next one, customer loyalty. So which implement loyalty affinity rewards program, so which is to build brand loyalty with a program that give discount and freebies to those who use your companies repeatedly. And the next one is relationship building. So this is a talk listen to customers to maintain a dialogue and to build a trust based relationship. And the next one is be accessible. So make it easy for customers to reach you. When customers reach out, make it a point to return calls, emails promptly. And the next one, customer satisfaction. So which is to implement a customer satisfaction policy that provides a way to resolve remedy problems and issues. And the next one, anticipate customer needs. So this is to learn business, their purchase patterns and their requirements for effective proactive solutions. And the next one is become an indispensable resource. So look for the way to add value, to be a real partner and to help your customers achieve results. And finally, helplines. So which provide support, service, advice, information like that. So train team members on how to manage calls effectively and efficiently. Okay. So in building the customer relationship, remember the value of personal touch, because make an effort to get to know the customers as a person, so you will be surprised at how much you may have in a common. Okay, this personal bond goes a long way toward building a lasting relationship. And the next one is why you should care about customer relationship optimization. The first one is happy customers are loyal and vocal, because this customer optimization drives customer loyalty, retention, referrals. So three valuable outcomes for any business. So these three elements in turn directly affect your revenue. If customers are loyal, their lifetime will increase and they are also more likely to recommend you to potential new customers in fact. Okay. Then the next one is happy customers make repeat purchases, because when tracking the customer experience go beyond on the basis if the customer is satisfied with the products, he will make the repurchases. This gives you the platform needed to do this, because the CRM systems alone are not enough to keep a customers happy. The customer relationship optimization ends beyond the CRM. So, but what many customer relationship managers miss this customer experience extend beyond the sale, because optimizing the customer relationship right from the very first touch point, you can significantly increase customers' lifetime value with your brand. Then five brilliant ways to optimize customer relationships. Okay. So what are the ways means? The first one is a seeking and monitoring feedback, because this is the new marketing. Your customers' opinion feedback are a must crucial in a sustaining in a business. So that's why it's so important to optimize the way you go gather feedback and learn about it. If you want to monitor how well your feedback forms are performing, considering create them on a software such as a Survey Monkey. Okay. So, but how do you get customers to willingly, enthusiastically participate in customer satisfaction survey? So, nothing more complex than asking them politely and directly. So, when creating feedback forms, whilst you should address common concerns you hear about from your support channels. So, it's important you keep it personal too. So you could even enhance the feedback process by providing a textbook for customers to share additional suggestions. And the next one is close the feedback loop quickly, because gathering a feedback from a client is something that most business do, but a few business analyze the feedback properly and use the information, so which is the issues in your business can be uncovered, addressed by monitoring customer feedback, which is early stage customers especially can give you invaluable insight from for growing and improving your businesses. When working with the customers, it is essential to undertake unusability testing on your product to understand how people are interacting with them. If people are misusing them or consistently coming unstuck, then your web or app design needs changing. The next one is enable live chat on your website, because this frustration spikes significantly when having to wait on a business to resolve issues. So, if you want to improve your customer relationship, there is no better way than making support more accessible to them. So working with a specialist platform which acquire, you can go even further, ensuring an offering by setting up live chat of software and this case by case basis. only when required. So a setup like this ensures your customers are covered across a multitude of access points. And the next one means leverage customer intelligence. So in this past, the marketers have may relied heavily on customer persons. So and intuitive assumption to make a predictive decisions about customer behavior. But the time has passed. Big data has transformed marketing forever. So the customers now expect communication from brands to be personal and have a little regard for irrelevant and untimely messaging. So that's why marketers need to embrace customer intelligence and apply it effectively. The behavioral data they have access to has massive value of creating insights. And the next one is building trust through transparency. So many companies showed their operations in secrecy, leaving customers in the dark as to how they function. While companies may have a good reason for the doing this, these customers might not understand what exactly they are trying to do. So that's why many marketers highly recommend earning customers trust by letting them in on information that you can share. So by this unit is over. Finally, we have finished our syllabus. So if you have any doubt, finally, please let me know in WhatsApp or a comment below. Okay. Take care all. Please be safe. Stay in home. Thank you.